Hi guys, ya sabes que Carlos Tirtate to another episode of Dimitra's Dishes. Today we're going to be making a roasted leg of lamb, Greek style. It's going to be easy, delicious, and the perfect main course to serve for Easter time or for a spring get-together. Let's get started. Okay, so you're going to need one leg of lamb that's between 7 to 8 or 9 pounds. Have your butcher clean it up a little bit and remove a little bit of the excess fat if you prefer it that way. And then what you're going to do is with a sharp knife, you're going to cut slits into it because this is going to hold garlic slivers and it's going to add so much flavor. It's also going to help the marinade penetrate through all that lemon and oregano. It's just going to go inside and flavor it, and it's going to be so delicious. Okay, so once you do that, set it aside. And then you're going to take some garlic cloves and you're going to cut them so that way they fit in between those little slits. And you know me, the more garlic, the merrier. You put as much as you like in there, okay? So I already cut the slits. I'm going to put the garlic in there last because I'm going to have to flip this around to get all the marinade off. And lots of lemon juice. You need at least 1/3 cup. I like to put a little bit more. This is a really big piece of lamb. And not only does lemon juice add lots of nice, tangy, fresh flavor, but it also cuts the gaminess of the lamb because lamb does tend to be a little gamey. But you put as much as you like on there. I'm just going to put a tiny bit of olive oil, maybe 3-4 tablespoons, because, again, lamb is a very fatty cut of meat, so you don't want this to be too greasy. I used to put more back in the day, but I really cut the amount of oil that I use when I'm cooking with lamb. Then I'm going to season it with salt. My general rule of thumb with salt is 1/2 teaspoon per pound of meat. So this is 7 pounds, so you're going to need about 3 to 4 teaspoons. Then oregano is another great flavor that really helps. It really complements lamb. Dried oregano. If you get Greek oregano, it's delicious. We're going to put a few fresh rosemary sprigs in here. These are big, so I'll just cut them in half, just like that. So before we season the backside of the lamb, let me just get the onion in here too. The onion is going to help create a nice sauce, and it's going to add sweetness and really good flavor. Now I'm using a red onion, but you can use any onion that you have. Just quarter it and put it in here. And I'll put 2. If you have a smaller cut of lamb, 1 onion will be enough. I'm just going to flip it over and season the other side as well. I'll use my clean hand to touch this salt. Also put some dried oregano. And you can put garlic on the back side too, but what I'm going to do for the bottom of the pan is, even though there's going to be plenty of garlic in the lamb itself, I am going to put a few cloves down here so they can cook underneath the lamb. And now I'm going to take these little slivers of garlic and stick them in the slits that I've cut. And you can season the garlic slivers with a little bit of salt and oregano too if you want to. It'll just add more flavor. And the funny thing is I cut the slits and now I can't see them. So I'll just cut a few more. So all of the garlic is in. Now I'm going to add a cup of water to the bottom of the pan. That's going to help it cook evenly. And then the only thing that I forgot was some freshly cracked black pepper, and you guys will be very happy to see that I do have a new pepper mill. I've been out of one for a while and have been using already ground pepper, and honestly nothing beats freshly ground. You could actually smell the essential oils. Smells different, tastes better. Just took me a while to get one. Anyway, some freshly ground pepper on top. If you want to, you can sprinkle some crushed red pepper flakes. Now I am going to go and grab some in a second. So I'm gonna sprinkle some crushed red pepper flakes salt on top. That is optional. Then I'm gonna take a piece of parchment paper. It protects from it protects the meat from touching the foil. And I'm gonna cover this tightly with aluminum foil. My oven is preheated to 350 degrees Fahrenheit. This is gonna bake in there, roast in there nice and slow. It's gonna take at least 3 hours for it to be ready. I like the meat really nice and soft and almost falling off the bone. So I'm just gonna keep an eye on it. Every oven works differently. Keep an eye on it again, like I said, it's gonna take about 3 to 4 hours. Sometimes it's ready in a little bit under that, maybe 2.5 hours, but hardly ever. So I'll show you what it looks like as soon as it's out. So the lamb is ready. It took a little over 4 hours because this was a really big cut. What I did at the end, once it was done, you definitely want to go in and start checking it at the 3.5 hour mark. Keep it covered until it is fork tender and almost falling off the bone. The meat should be really nice and soft. Then what I did, I learned a trick from my mom. For the last 5 minutes, I just turned the broiler element on so the top can get a little bit nice and golden brown and crispy while the inside is going to be really nice and juicy. While the lamb was cooking in the oven, I also prepared some lemony potatoes. All I did was I peeled some russet potatoes and quartered them, put them on the sheet pan, and I poured some lemon juice on them, olive oil, seasoned with salt, pepper, and oregano, tossed everything all together. I also put a little pinch of crushed red pepper flakes on top, and then I poured a little bit of water on the bottom so it could help them cook. And I just put them in the oven and let them cook alongside the lamb. It took them about 1 hour and 20 minutes. Potatoes are ready when they're fork tender. You can definitely make this whole meal a few hours ahead of time before your guests arrive and then just warm everything through right before you put it on the table to serve it. This would all go great with some spanakopita, some tzatziki. Also, a Mediterranean rice pilaf would be really nice, and I did make all of those things. I'm gonna get ready to set the table. You guys head on over to the website, www.dimitrasdishes.com. Make all these recipes, they're delicious. Call your family and friends over if you can and share them because sharing is caring in my world. Let me take a little taste of the lamb first before I move it over to the table. Let me make sure I get some of the sauce too. The onions pretty much melted. You can definitely put the onions alongside like that or even puree everything and make like a little light gravy to go alongside. So lemony, so bright, and that garlic inside has melted, so it just flavored the meat so much. The oregano and the rosemary add so much freshness and cut the gaminess of the lamb. This is a recipe that you're gonna love. It reminds me of Easter time at my mom and dad's house. My dad used to make a whole lamb on the spit, and it has all of the same flavors. I hope you guys start this tradition with your family at home and you enjoy it. Thank you guys so much for spending time with me today. I'll see you all next time. Yes,